Well, see, my thing was before Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I rewatched all of Tarantino's films, and in doing so, I wanted to watch everything too, which I didn't end up watching the Four Rooms.
I've never seen the other one. What you mentioned?
True Romance.
I never saw that, but I've seen the Brad Pitt scenes.
So I watched True Romance, which I like a lot. It's good. And then I watched Natural Born Killers, which I don't like.
Yeah.
I like the story. I watched that as well.
You like it?
No. I didn't like that movie. But the story of True Romance, I did like, and that makes sense because now knowing that he just created the story, I liked it. I thought it had a lot of potential. The actual screenplay and how it played out, I didn't like it. And I definitely didn't like the directing. I didn't like the cinematography, which is strange because Robert Richardson did the cinematography, and he's probably one of my favorite cinematographers. I really like his.
You're talking about True Romance?
No, I'm talking about Natural Born Killers.
Okay, yeah. I didn't even know it was an Oliver Stone movie at the time.
Not a big fan of Oliver Stone. So
you didn't like Scarface, right?
I've never watched Scarface.
Okay, how about Platoon?
I do like Platoon.
Didn't he also make Savages?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's my top three, I guess.
If
you list off some other movies of his, I might like them more. I don't know.
But I don't know. It would have been much better if that was a Tarantino film.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be
But then we'd have 10.
Things might be a lot differently though.
Yeah, probably.
But
probably would have never made Reservoir Dogs.
Don't know. I feel like True Romance he was more passionate about than Natural Born Killers anyways. Mm-hmm. I feel like True Romance, because he kind of, the character in True Romance was loosely based off him, Tarantino, and Christian Slater's character. And I feel like he was very passionate about that film, and he really wanted to make True Romance. But the studio didn't have enough confidence in him to make that film. So they ended up having him just as a screenwriter, and they got Tony Scott. They got Tony Scott to come. Sorry, guys. They got Tony Scott to come in and direct it, which I like Tony Scott in most of his films that I've seen, and I think he did a good job with it. But I know that Tarantino. I know he still likes the film to a certain degree because he shows it at New Beverly. And I don't think he would show it if he didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I know he was disappointed with some things that he wanted in the film and didn't get. Like, I'm pretty sure that character was supposed to die in his version. Christian Slater's character at the end. And the movie, the studio didn't want to do that. And they changed things up. But yeah, it had Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Dennis Hopper's in it. Christopher Walken's in it. Which is... I think Tarantino's talked about how it's one of his best written scenes is the scene with Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken, which definitely explains why he returned for Pulp Fiction. Working with Tarantino. Yeah, definitely a good movie. I think you would like it. I definitely want to I want to get in on it and rewatch it because it definitely deserves a rewatch. I liked it a lot. Mm-hmm. It was definitely something where you could see this is somebody in the early stages of screenwriting. I could see myself writing something like True Romance. Gary Oldman's in it too, and he plays a meaner, weirder version of Alien, I guess, from Spring Break. I don't know. He has dreads and stuff, and it's, but yeah, it's good.
Alien before Alien.
Yeah. What do you think Tarantino's 10th and final film will be?
That spin-off of Inglourious Bastards with Will Smith. You remember that rumor?
Sparrows?
Yeah. No, I don't actually think that.
No, that's definitely not. That would be
not going to be Star Trek.
No.
That might be a TV show.
He officially came out and said he's not doing the Star Trek.
Okay.
He said that which I never thought he was going to end up doing that.
Yeah.
I thought at most, he'd produce it, and that's at this point because first of all, I don't ever want to see a Tarantino movie that he doesn't write. Because that's what is the most important thing about a Tarantino film is that he wrote it and his story. So to have somebody...
Has he ever directed anything outside of something he's written?
The only thing that's not original that he's done is Jackie Brown.
Oh,
Which is based off that novel.
Oh yeah, I did know it was based off a novel. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, but he adapted it.
He adapted it. And
Okay.
wrote his own. Yeah.
Well, he still wrote it then.
Right.
Okay.
But it's the only thing that he made that wasn't
but I'm
original.
Sure, I don't. Okay, so I haven't read the book, so I don't know. But I'm sure he put his own spin on the dialogue between the characters.
100%. 100%. He completely made it his own, but it wasn't inspired by that book.
We should read that book.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to read it.
Look up the name of it.
Because I like Jackie Brown a lot. I think it's his most underrated movie.
For sure.
And probably one of the most underrated performances from Samuel L. Jackson. I really liked him in that movie.
Chris Tucker, Robert Forrester, Pam Grier, all the great. Michael Keaton was in it.
Robert De Niro was in it.
Yep. Yeah. So.
Shut up.
It was nice he was able to work with Robert De Niro. You think he'll ever do that again?
Be cool to see.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and I don't know if you know this. This is a story I found out. So he's wanted to work with Sylvester Stallone multiple times, Tarantino. And the first time that he offered Stallone a role and wanted to work with him was Jackie Brown.
I think I heard you say something about that on one of these videos.
The role that went to Robert De Niro was actually
supposed to be Sylvester Stallone.
He offered it to Stallone first.
Why did he turn it down?
I don't remember why he turned that role down. I think it was scheduling issues. I think maybe
I want to know what he was making instead.
It might have been Copland, which he's the lead in Copland, so
yeah.
With James Mangold. Because both of those came out in 97, so it might have been that, but I think it was scheduling issues, the reason he didn't do that role.
Mm-hmm.
The second time was Death Proof. He offered Stallone the role that went to Kurt Russell as stuntman.
I don't know if I would have liked the movie any better with Stallone in it.
I mean, I don't think so.
I didn't really like the movie to begin with.
I like it, but it's definitely not Tarantino's best.
It's the only one I've ever seen one time, and probably, I mean, yeah, it's the only one I've ever seen one time. I've seen all the others multiple times.
Revisit it.
Yeah. That's all we do.
I think you would like it. I mean, you would at least like it more than you do now, I feel like, because it's not bad. It's just, if you look at something like Pulp Fiction or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's just not... It's not a complex film. It's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I'm sure it's great. For people, I remember being like, fucking, when did it come out? 2006?
2007.
2007. Being like 12 years old and seeing commercials for it on TV all the time, because it was that double feature with.
Yeah, I don't remember any previews, but I do remember going to the movies to see other stuff. And passing the posters and passing like the marquee on the theater.
The woman with the machine gun on the hood of the car. I kept
that's so cool. I want to see this movie
on TV all the time.
But that's not Death Proof.
Yeah, I know. That's the Robert Rodriguez movie, right?
Right. Yes, that's Planet Terror, which I own the copy that has both of them on there. Which actually, that copy isn't as that version isn't as good as the one that's just Death Proof. Because there's like stuff cut out of the version that I have on DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That's not in, or that's in the other stuff. But I don't think it's bad. But yeah, it's interesting. And Stallone turned that down because he said he had daughters and didn't feel comfortable with the role.
Makes sense.
So I don't know. Maybe Tarantino's like, I'm not offering you another fucking role. Like, you turn two of them down and not doing it again. But it'd be interesting to see Stallone.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how many other people he's offered roles to that have turned them down repeatedly, and then he finally got them in one movie. Well, I mean, maybe he asked Robert De Niro to do other stuff before he got him in Jackie Brown or something.
Yeah, that was his only third film, though, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe he asked him to be in Pulp Fiction or something.
Pulp Fiction,
or like, I wonder if he ever actually talked to Will Smith about that Sparrows movie, and they were actually planning on doing it.
I don't know if Will Smith was ever attached to that, if that was just me in the past saying I wished it happened.
Oh,
I think that was just
my memory so much about that. So that's bring it up. You're the only person I've ever remember saying.
I made that whole movie up. That wasn't real.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't know if Will Smith was originally, he wanted Will Smith to play Django in Django Unchained.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it might have been me saying that I wanted Will Smith to play in Sparrows. But maybe it was. I don't remember. I just remember them talking about Sparrows. And then Django came around, and Will Smith was supposed to play Django, but he ended up turning it down because he felt like Christoph Waltz was the lead and not him, so he didn't want to do the movie.
I was very upset when Christoph Waltz died in Django. It's the biggest shock to me, I guess.
I mean, I love that scene.
Yeah. But I guess...
You really want to shake my hand?
I mean, it's like, obviously, okay, Leonardo DiCaprio is the lead, but they're both...
Of what, Once Upon a Time?
Yeah, but, like, they're both the lead. Him and Brad Pitt. Like, you know what I mean? They both have, like... a substantial piece of the story that takes
Once
place.
Upon a Time's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Leo is technically the lead. Brad Pitt steals the movie. He's my favorite movie character.
But I'm saying that, like, even though Jamie Foxx might have been, cast as the lead, or let's say Christoph Waltz was cast as the lead.
Django was definitely the lead of Django and Django.
Yeah.
There was a whole nother 30 minutes that happened after that scene where it was him.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, yeah. You might have been cast as the lead, and he might have stolen the show from you a little bit. But that's on you. It's not a script. That's not the script's fault. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to you as a performer to channel that. And it's like you said, there's another 30 minutes of that movie that would have made him the main character. So
I just think it's really interesting
what Will Smith was talking about.
Because if how that would have changed Will Smith's career if he had chose Django. Because look at the other shitty movies After Earth. Yeah. I'm gonna who I don't understand. But yeah, I feel like if he had done that and then made some better career decisions following that, his career would be a lot different right now. And who knows? Maybe if
wouldn't be having to do 3 sequels to Gemini Man.
I think Jamie Foxx was great in Django.
Yeah.
But think about this: what if Will Smith had done it, and he had done it equally as good as Jamie Foxx, or honestly, even better? And what if he got an Oscar from that?
Honestly, Jamie Foxx's performance in that movie hasn't made me gone out and sought out any of his other movies. I've seen what I've seen, but I don't see a Jamie Foxx led movie and I'm like, oh, I want to go see that. It was mainly because it was a Tarantino movie, but it's not to say he's a bad actor at all. I saw the movie Ray.
Will Smith's slightly different, but
yeah.
I'm not saying I see Will
Smith
makes good movies. I mean, he made Collateral too, and that was a very good film.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just he's also made Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he gave that kind of performance. And, but all actors have.
He treated it like art.
He was really into it. He made that song for it and everything.
Gold Digger. He helped make that song.
He did. I'm trying to think of other. Warren Beatty, he wanted to play in Kill Bill as Bill originally, and he wrote the character for him.
Yeah.
And then he wrote the character a little bit slightly differently for David Carradine, who ended up playing Bill. But he was talking in an interview how he could have put Bruce Willis in as well, because that was his third choice, Bruce Willis, to play the Bill. And if he had done that, he could have had it more like the original version that he wrote. So, I'm always curious now thinking about it, what a version of Kill Bill would have been like with Bruce Willis as Bill.
Would have been a much younger Bill, that's for sure.
I don't know how much younger they were.
David Carradine was old. And this was turn of the 2000s. I don't think Bruce Willis had he didn't look that old. He didn't have a whole bunch of wrinkles on his face, I don't think.
He would have been about in his early 50s, probably.
I feel like David Carradine was older. I feel like it, but I don't know.
But yeah, that's interesting. Originally in Pulp Fiction, Tarantino wanted Michael Madsen to come back and play Vince Vega. Or
do you think he changed the name of the character because Michael Madsen wouldn't come back? That he's like, well,
I don't know. It's curious. That makes me curious.
It's like I can't have it be this character if he said no. So what if I make it his brother?
Do you think it was supposed to be the same character from Reservoir Dogs? See, that would have completely changed the story because he died in Reservoir Dogs and then he would die in Pulp Fiction. So
yeah,
it would have to be a different character.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess.
So I don't know. Maybe the character's name was different. Maybe it wasn't a Vega brother at all. Maybe it was a different character.
Well, then still, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he still had to change the character, I think.
But Michael Madsen was already contracted to do something else at the time, which I have no idea what it was.
It was some outlaw movie. It was some Western movie, I think. I think I know exactly what it was.
So he ended up getting John Travolta to do the role. And then he made them character brothers, and yeah, what do we have now?
Now we've got that fan-made trailer for the Vega Brothers on like dailymotion.com or something.
I've never watched it. I'm going to have to go check it out.
Really? I think I've shown it to you before.
Maybe. We'll watch it after this.
All right.
I'm trying to think. I know he also said after that after Pulp Fiction, he stopped writing, for the most part, other than Bill, who he originally wrote for them, that guy. He stopped, and Uma Thurman, who he obviously wrote The Bride for her, Beatrice. Yeah. But beyond that, he stopped writing characters for certain actors and started writing the characters to be rich, and then picked actors from his gallery or whoever to fill the roles.
And boy, does he have a gallery.
Yeah. He's got a lot of, yeah, definitely. Definitely, glad he had Brad Pitt in there. Trying to think other actors that were almost in Tarantino films. I don't know if it's true, but I always heard the rumor that at one point Leo was wanted to play Hans Landa in Inglourious Basterds, which I think would have been a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he actually got a German actor for that, and then who would have thought that he would have been as great as he was?
He crushed.
Well, the people in Germany probably knew.
Yeah. And then obviously you got Django after that. Stuff with Will Smith. And there was a couple spinoffs with Inglourious Basterds that we didn't get. We got the Sparrows one that was talked about, as well as the Aldo prequel to explain how he got the scar.
There was that moment where he almost didn't make the Hateful Eight.
Because he was mad because the script got leaked. Which I never watched the leaked. I never read this leaked.
I never read it either.
So I'm glad I didn't.
Just imagine if that didn't happen. Then he's got two more movies left.
Jennifer Lawrence was one at one point was considered to play, and I wish she had, because she would have been much better in that role.
I wonder in my head, was Christoph Waltz wanted to play Tim Roth's character as Waldo in Hateful Eight? Because to me it felt like that.
Yeah.
With the performance that Tim Roth gave, I was like, I could see Christoph Waltz doing this.
All right, Tim, I'll let you be in my movie, but you got to play it like Christoph.
And then Once Upon a Time, obviously, I think everyone, for the most part, he got that he wanted to in that. But
my mom didn't even know it was Al Pacino until like the third scene he was in.
A couple different things. One, Burt Reynolds was supposed to play George.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was signed on. He even did the test reading and the prep.
It was around the same time we saw the last movie star.
Yeah,
it was around that same time.
And then Burt Reynolds died.
Came out, yeah.
So he was replaced with Bruce Dern. Who's Laura Dern's dad? What was Laura Dern's dad? Did you know that? Yeah, I know. So yeah, that happened, and there was rumors. I remember when they were casting Once Upon a Time. Tom Cruise was in discussion for something, and I wonder what it was.
I mean, are we talking like Tom Cruise from Magnolia or Tom Cruise from The Mummy?
Tom Cruise is a good actor when he's given the right script.
Yeah, I guess.
But what I think it was,
Tom Cruise from Vanilla Sky,
is he read for Cliff, because I can see an alternate universe with Tom Cruise playing Cliff, and it wouldn't have been bad, but it wouldn't have been Brad Pitt though.
Yeah,
and I'm definitely glad.
Did you ever see By the Sea with Brad Pitt and Angelina?
No, it's on Netflix. I'm gonna try to check it out before it goes off Netflix. But that's what I assume he was wanting to play. But who knows? Maybe there's an alternate universe out there too where he was supposed to play Rick.
Yeah, I'd see him more as a Rick than a Cliff.
And that would have been interesting with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in a movie like that together again.
Leo just doesn't come back. He doesn't make any more movies going forward.
He retires.
Yeah.
No, Leo's one of the best actors of all time, I think. He's not my favorite My two favorite actors are Ryan Gosling and Brad Pitt, but Leo's actually my favorite actor. So I am going to put him in that conversation. But I think Leo's the best actor of all time right now. I'm thinking because I haven't seen a bad performance ever from Leo, even in bad films like The Great Gatsby.
I mean, I kind of like that movie.
The Great Gatsby?
Yeah, with Robert Redford. 1974. It was a good movie.
Yeah, but
I liked all of the 2013's Great Gatsby's pieces. I didn't like how they fit together, but I liked the pieces.
if you mean pieces as in Leo was a good Gatsby,
I mean like
Carey Mulligan was a good Daisy.
The individual actors and actresses, like the way that they tried to tell the story, the way it was interpreted, how they like did some of the, I mean, even the music in it. Like I thought all of these things were like interesting choices and cool, but like when we pushed it all together, it just didn't really work. I don't know. I haven't seen it since
I haven't either.
2013. So.
The only thing the interesting thing about that is I know Ben Affleck was originally supposed to play in it, and he ended up leaving it, and Joel Egerton took over.
He was supposed to play that role.
Yeah, which I can see.
Yeah,
and I think it was a smart decision for him to leave. But then it's like he went and did those DC movies and still got fucked over. So,
well, he's on the way back.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
I'm looking forward to that. I might go see that.
I'm curious. I'll check it out. I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my most anticipated movie of the year or spring or whatever, but
I can't even think of movie. Venom 2
comes out in October.
Hell yeah. Didn't see the first one. Probably won't see this one.
Morbius?
Yeah, that's got Jared Leto in it. I know that.
I thought you were going to say, yeah, I don't know what that is.
No, the group I watch.
Godzilla got pushed back.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's coming out now.
Yeah, I don't care about that either.
I think it was supposed to come out in spring. I think it got pushed back.
Is this the one with the Mothman?
Yeah, no, that wasn't the last one.
Oh.
You missed it.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be Kong versus Godzilla.
King Kong yeah. That's right. That'll probably suck.
Catch up, dude. Damn.
Let's see what else.
Yeah, Wonder Woman 1984 this year. Venom 2, Morbius, Fast and Furious 9.
Can I hear some indie movie titles? something smaller with someone that I like in it. Probably.
A lot of the indie movies you're not going to get until the end of the year, though. Dune's coming out, which is could be cool.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Dune. I think that's going to be really good. I don't think I'll read the book, even though I probably should.
I'm interested in Blonde.
I'm interested in Tenet. I don't know what Blonde is.
Blonde is
a
Marilyn Monroe film with Anna de Armas playing Marilyn
okay.
Monroe, and it's produced by Brad Pitt.
I remember you talking about that. Yeah. Who's got Plan B?
I want to say it's the same filmmaker who made Killing Them Softly.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, I might watch that then.
So I'm interested in that. Tenet, I mean, I'm definitely going to watch, but I'm not excited for it right now.
It was just one of those things I saw on the list earlier when I was looking at upcoming movies.
It could be really good. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know anything about the movie.
You haven't seen the trailer?
I've seen the trailer.
Okay.
I still know what's going on. I still know what's happening.
Okay, yeah. When's the sequel to that Tomb Raider movie coming out? Do you remember that one?
I don't think there's gonna be a sequel, dude. Although they talked about it. They talked about making a sequel because I think it did better overseas than it did here.
I could believe that. I could absolutely believe that.
But I don't think it'll happen.
Hugh Jackman, or not Hugh Jackman. You were talking about The Witcher. Henry Cavill. Some news came out, and I'll talk about this more in Happy Hour this upcoming week too. I discuss that, but Henry Cavill might be the new Wolverine. Some rumors came out that he was going to be the new Wolverine and was supposed to appear in Captain Marvel 2, which that's why I don't really believe the rumor, because I don't know why Wolverine would be in Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah.
But
I still haven't seen the first one, so there's a couple Marvel movies I still haven't seen.
You definitely should watch Ant-Man. I know you haven't seen that one. It's really good. But Captain Marvel is really good too. You need to go watch all of them. At some point, you need to sit down and do another rewatch. Watch all the movies. Watch the ones you haven't seen.
I mean, it's just the 2 Ant-Man movies, the 2 Spider-Man movies, and Captain Marvel. I think I've seen all the others.
Yeah, rewatch them. Start with Captain Marvel, because it's the very beginning. It's like, I think. Work your way through.
That's a lot of screen time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Break it down. You can watch it over a year.
No, I'm rewatching Mad Men.
Again?
Yeah.
I'm watching One Tree Hill again, so. Obviously.
You gonna do a Mad Men rewatch series?
I haven't decided yet.
I think that'd be cool. I'd like to be on.
I'm not ruling it out, but it'll be a while if I do. So I'll probably be in California. So you'll have to come to California. And actually, what we can do is Skype.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just a 3 hour.
I'll have to get a webcam.
You don't have a camera on your computer?
I have a desktop.
Oh. Well, yeah, get a webcam.
This guy's using.
Or you can use your phone to get a new phone.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
phone.
yeah. I guess.
Like you can Skype with an iPhone.
Yeah. Yes, I know.
So you could do that, but yeah, I'm doing One Tree Hill now, a rewatch and talking about it. Still trying to find my way as far as like how I want to do those and like talk about the directors and the writers of each episode and what I think.
Start breaking it down, one episode per one of your episodes, and just talk about everything.
Yeah, that's a lot. But I thought about doing it for other shows too. Once when I get done with One Tree Hill, I thought about doing The Office, but then again,
did you take a lot of like photos on your like tours when you toured the studios? Were you able to take photos?
Are you talking about in Hollywood?
No. When you toured Screen Gems.
No, you weren't allowed to take any photos inside the store.
I was gonna say, well, you still have photos of like the areas and stuff. You could like start.
Yes.
You could start scanning that shit in and like putting it in your videos. Yeah, being like, hey, this is where it was in the show. Or whatever it might be. I guess you could do that more like the behind the scenes kind of stuff.
Yeah, I might get to that, but I didn't. Yeah, I think I want to start doing that. I think it's a good idea. But I didn't start going to Wilmington for One Tree Hill reasons and everything until season 5. Mm-hmm. So when I get to the point
when it started,
yeah,
okay,
I'll start doing that because I don't want to do it now.
Yeah,
and,
I get you. Yeah, that makes sense.
When I get to that point, I'll do that. I'm also for you guys. We're going to be going to Wilmington soon, and I'm going to be doing some filming of different areas that One Tree Hill was filmed at, and some commentary on that, and show you guys for the One Tree Hill rewatch series, as well as just the Wilmington visit for on here, some commentary on that. But yeah, I thought about other shows too. I thought about The Office. I don't really know how much I would have to talk about with The Office outside because I don't know. It's a comedy, so it's like, do I break down the story or if I just talk about what moments I like the most? But I thought about an Office one. I thought about Mad Men. Thought about Dawson's Creek. And I thought about Bloodline. I'll most likely do one for Bloodline at some point.
Yeah. Because
it's only 3 seasons. And I think that's a show that I can really analyze and talk about what I think, certain things mean. And if you'd like to do that, like I think,
I like that show. I like it a lot.
I think we could really dive into that.
I got gutted too soon.
Yeah, I was really upset the Bloodline got canceled because I think I originally saw you tweeting about it or something.
Cool. So I learned about it on Twitter as like an advertisement sponsored thing.
Yeah, it was. They were really one of those advertisements for season 1. And then I was like, I'll give it a chance, and I watched the first episode, and then I was like, damn. And then I found myself just binging the whole first season on Netflix after I watched the first episode. Yeah. And then I was like, man, I can't wait till another season. It was so good, but I couldn't believe they actually did what they did in the show. And then we got season 2, and I remember requesting off work. Now, I worked part-time, I was in college and stuff, so it's not like I requested off like in my full-time job to stay home and watch, but yeah. I requested off, I worked in a movie theater, I requested off so I could stay home that Friday and binge watch season 2 when it came out of Bloodline. And I did.
Yeah. And
I liked season 2. A lot of people didn't because they felt like it was just lacking what the first one had, and I'm like, to me...
Yeah, it was lacking Ben Mendelsohn.
It was, but he's dead.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
it was the natural progression of the show, I think, and it was the characters dealing with what they had just done and the guilt, and this was the next logical step for the show. I thought it was good. I thought it was handled well. A lot of people didn't like it, though. And then we got to season 3, which I also requested all for. Stayed home, binged it, which I was upset because I knew that was the final season.
Did we come over that day and watch it with you?
You did. You watched some. You watched
like
maybe
the first 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah, you watched the first half of the season, and then I watched like that night. Watched like the second half by myself, but I was upset. Like part of the reason was the Florida cut their tax incentives, like North Carolina's done at the time, and it was more expensive for them to film in the Keys. And if you've seen the show, you know they have to film in the Keys for it. And they ended up just cutting it, which was upsetting because the creators have said they were originally planning for 5 or 6 seasons. Like their story, so they had. And there's parts of the stories they easily could have wrapped up early, but they laid a lot of stuff down within season 2.
Because they were building for 4 more seasons.
Yeah. Everything with John Leguizamo.
I don't know if y'all hear that dog.
Yeah, I hear it.
Oh, I know you hear it. I wonder if
You mean
they're going to hear it.
I'm sure they will. I don't know what's going on in there, but yeah, boat bridges, all that different stuff that was cool when they set it up. Just kind of, they didn't have anywhere to go with it in 3 because they had to wrap it up so quickly, and it was disappointing. But I still like 3 overall. Near the end,
that's the kind of shit I want a novelization of, and not like The Rise of Skywalker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give me a series about that. In paperback, I'll read that on my next vacation or something.
Shows like that like get cut too, or ended too soon or whatever. Like part of me would like to see like what the writers had planned out for future seasons. Like even if it was just treatments for future seasons, to like just let me know what they thought.
You think Netflix owns that stuff and they won't let it out?
Potentially, but I feel like there's other been shows on Netflix that might have been canceled to move to different properties. So I don't know.
Well, they haven't done anything with the rights for this.
For Bloodline?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they ever will. I mean, if a different studio came and wanted to buy the rights for Bloodline, I think Netflix would sell it, even though Bloodline's a Netflix original. I think they probably would. I just don't think there's enough fans for it.
Probably not.
I don't think enough people watch Bloodline for some reason. It's unfortunate, because it's a good show and it had really good talent in it, too.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Kyle Chandler in it, but you're right, I don't think he's not really star power material.
No. Kyle Chandler was great in Bloodline. Like I'd still stand by. I think he should have won an Emmy for it. But all that stuff's fucked up because, like, if you look at Bloodline, I hands down think Ben Mendelsohn should have won an Emmy for season 1. He should have won a supporting actor Emmy or whatever for season 1. He didn't, but he did win an Emmy for season 2. But it wasn't supporting actor; it was like best guest star or something.
Well, I think in part it was because they didn't give it to him for season 1, and they realized that was a mistake.
But then that's fucked up. And I think Kyle Chandler, I think he should have won an Emmy for season 3 or season 2, but one or the other. I would probably go with season 3, but either one, I think he should have won an Emmy for those because his performance. I think definitely in 3 when he's like dealing with all this guilt and like,
especially that one of those last episodes.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
But it was overlooked, and I don't know who ended up winning, but it wasn't him. What year?
Was that the year John Hamm won for best?
No, because Bloodline came out. Was it 2015, 16, and 17?
Yeah, if it came out like February of 2015, and that last season of Mad Men came out in April, May.
Well, I'm not saying Kyle Chandler should have won for season 1 because that's what he would have been up against.
Oh, okay.
John Hamm.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Oh,
I'm saying John because I think John Hamm deserved to win that, but I'm saying that Kyle Chandler should have won for 2 or 3, season 2 or 3, probably 3, but I would have been happy with either one. But got no recognition. But yeah, it's getting cold out here, so we're going to go inside. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to bring you back. We're going to do
dude.
some more videos.
I'll come back up.
All right,
As long as you can
guys.
sleep on your couch.